Aloha mai kako. I'm TeHani, and I'd like to welcome you to my hula workshop for the Mele Ke'e. But before we even get to the hula part, it's always very important to understand the mele. And if you don't have the composer near, you don't know how to get a hold of them, or they have already passed, you might as well get the next best person. Whoever knows all the good stuff about that person and about the mele or the place or whatever. And that person would be Kuana Torres Kahele. Aloha.
Aloha. I don't know if I'm fond of being the next best thing.
Well, this Mele Ke'e was written by your very good friend
Yes.
and co-group member, Kehau Tamure, and you always collaborate with her. So I figure we might as well ask you, right?
Yeah, you're right about that. A lot of the songs, not all, but a handful of songs that Tamure composed, I collaborated with her, whether that was musically or with the lyrics, and a lot of it was in lyrics. So this Mele was one of those songs. And, you know, back in the old days, when we were first starting out, she and I used to live in Kona. And she was actually there before me. And there was an ohana that she would stay with up in Honanao area, the South Kona, and in the area of Ke'e. And this ohana, you know, opened their home to her, and she would often spend a lot of time over there by the sea in the beauty of Ke'e, which is what sparked the mele.
Wow. Now, funny you should bring that up, because I was trying to remember. It's been a while since I've been to Ke'e. I want to say I was in my early teens, but all I remember is the area being secluded, but at that time there were other people were starting to buy land there and build. Is that what's happening? I mean, are there a lot of newer homes in that area? I haven't been for so long.
There is new homes in and around
okay.
Ke'e, but mostly the homes down Makai, on the water's edge, is all Kuleana land, so Hawaiian homes.
Okay.
So a lot of the original families from way back when still there.
Oh, that's great.
One of which was the ohana that had Kehau was living with or staying with at the time, and I know for a fact that this was what sparked
the writing of this mele. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
this is where she started, and it was a song that was concocted from that time, which is a little bit before me. And then it came into being or into reality a little bit later. Because she brought it up and she used to sing it when we would often do our drives between Hilo and Kona, or sometimes from Kailua up into South Kona. And over time, like a lot of songs often do, they kind of
really come to fruition after years,
and
right?
it grows.
Yeah,
the song grows. That you start off with something and then it changes as time goes by. And when Kehau shared the mele with me, I think a few lines in some of the verses were of that time when we were together, putting together with a song. So like for the first verse, he nani vale ku'uike ka'ina make kahakaie, ka'ina o kawa kahiko o na kupuna. So she's talking about her special time, her moment when she was there with that ohana that was taking care of her. And she had so much, this pilina, this relationship to the sea. And I think that has to do with the fact, with the ohana and their connection with the sea and their ancestry and all their kupuna that was tied to that land and that kai.
Well, that area has a lot of mana to it already, because it's off into a little cove from Kealakekua Bay. So there's a lot of history already. So you can already feel that our ancestors have walked that area. Yeah. So I'm assuming that that's what she was trying to express in her words
too. Often in Hawaii, as Kanaka, when you visit certain places in Hawaii, you feel the pilina, where certain areas have a strong connection with the kupuna.
The aina just speaks to us. That's how we are as Kanaka,
It really does. And then on to the second verse, like I mentioned, as time went by, the song grew, and it talks about iki'ia, ikanani, kealo, keakua. And today, if you look on the maps, you go to Kona, it says Keala Kekua, but we surmise that the original name of that is Keala Keakua, or Keala o Keakua, the pathway of the gods.
Yeah. And that makes a lot of sense if you're Ma'atu Olelo Hawaii, right? Yeah. That it should have been that way. But on the broader sense, a lot of people just call the entire area Honaunau, right? You talk about the verses in the Mele. When you get to the third verse, it talks about black rock. So from what I remember is the sand was white there, but there were fragments of lava. And that's what the black rocks we're speaking about in the third verse.
Well, actually, you would think, yeah, because that whole Kona, whole right. South Kona is all
yeah.
But if you go down into Ke'e, and in the neighboring bays, because she looks at everything as a whole. Because from the second verse, she's in Keala Kekua, and that's a journey. She's talking about a journey, and her journey along that coast, that southern tip of Kona, of the west side of the island of Hawaii. So she's not necessarily in Ke'e, rather she's looking at that side of the island
I get what you mean.
In its entirety.
Right.
So along the way from Ke'e or to Ke'e, she talks about this beach that produces. You ever heard of the term ili hanau?
Yes.
So those kind of beaches that produce ili
right.
stones. So she's talking about a beach over there.
The ideal beach that us po Hula go, because we need ili for our mele, yeah?
So she's talking about a beach that produces that kind of ili.
Well, that makes sense too, because the more shallow side, which is why Ke'e is not really known for swimming, because that whole shore area is all ili. It's not the best place to swim.
Yeah, because once you reach Kainaliu, Kona, and that whole upper side, all the ocean down there, get plenty of rivers on that side. So where all the rivers stay is usually where all the ili hanau stay. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And you know what? I think most people nowadays would know Ke'e as is probably more of a fishing area, a surfing area. I'm not a surfer myself, but I was told by my cousins that whole area is known as the longest ride. The reef is like 300 yards off the shoreline, but I heard the surfers are.
You know why? Because
the
whole Kona side of the island shallow. It's long sandbars there. Yeah. So once the wave come in, the wave is consistent.
Right.
Because of the shallowness of the water, so it just rides all. You can ride them all the way in.
Oh, sounds like a good day if you're a surfer.
I had my surfing days.
You did?
Yeah, a pow.
You know what I do remember about Ke'e? I mean, I remember seeing some surfers, but I remember just sitting on the beach and just being malie, because it's not I don't know, it was just a really quiet area filled with niu. There are coconut trees along the shoreline, and it just was a calm area, and that's kind of what I felt while listening to Ke'e as well as choreographing.
Well, the chorus makes mention of not surfers per se, but it does talk about the waves.
Right.
Kainalui Kamalie, all these beautiful waves in the calm. E ho'onanea so relaxing.
Yep.
There at Ke'e.
Yeah, and so everyone else will feel the same as you're dancing this mele. So mahalo for sharing.
Yeah, mahalo.
What you remember of the mele. Yeah, mahalo to Kehau, but mahalo for sharing a little bit of Kehau with us. We would have rather her been here with us, but I guess you'll do.
We got to practice safety during this time. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Leave her over there, we get them.
Ke'e. The first verse says, He nani vale I ku'uike, ka aina ma ke kaha kaie, ka aina o ka wā kahiko o nā kupuna e. The hui. Kainalu I ka mālie e ho'onānea e. Ke'e, aloha o Ke'e. The second verse beautifully says, Ikeia I kanani e o keala keakua be. He aina o nā pali I ke ku kila e. In the third verse of Ke'e, she says, Ke one kea e, me nā pō haku ili ili ele ele. Ka holu nape o ka lau o ka niu, vela I ka lā e. And the very last verse expressing her love for Ke'e, sing E o Ke'e, ka aina ma ke kaha kai e. Haina ku'u mele, kaha kai hemolele e. So now that we know a little bit about Ke'e and what you should be feeling and seeing, smelling and tasting, all those great things, now it's time to learn the hula part of it, okay? So in the first verse, the words Henani Vale is already saying it's a beautiful place. So my feet are gonna take me to this place, all right? So we're starting here with our ku position, okay? And our kaholo is gonna take us to the right side and then to the left side at a iluna and ilalo. There you go, okay? Nice and smooth, thinking very malie, okay? Not a rough beach area, nice and calm. So nice and calm is what your kaholo should look like, okay? Henani, hena nivale iku ike. From here, you're gonna go into 4 hela, okay? Ka aina ma ke kaha kai e. Good. From here, your body is gonna totally turn to the right angle, okay? Your kaholo is gonna be on the right, and you're gonna head to the back angle, okay? So I'm doing a ilalo iluna kaholo, 1, 2, 3, 4. From here, I'm gonna do a ho'omalie. And all a ho'omalie is a part of a kaholo into a uwehe. So I'm gonna turn my body to the front, 1, close my feet, step, and weke, just like that, okay? Let's take it from that angled kaholo, okay? Ka'aina make kahakai, ready? And we're going kaholo, 2, 3, and turning front, step together, uwehe. Mai ka'i. Okay, let's try that whole thing. Okay, we're not just done yet with the feet for first verse, but we're gonna try it from the top so that we can make sure that we remember it, right? Okay, here we go. Hinani, ready? And kaholo, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and hela, 1, 2. Give me 2 more. 3 and 4 to the back angle. 1, 2, 3, and kava ka. Hiko, and all you're gonna do here is kaholo to the right, staying side to side, down and up. Iluna ilalo coming down, back to your home position, okay? Home position is where we're starting, okay? We always wanna start and end at the same place, okay? So that's the feet for the first verse. Let's put it all together so that we can get it, okay? We wanna remember it so that when we add the motions, it'll be super easy for us, okay? Here we go. Ready? And kaholo. Na ni vale iku u hela for me. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Kaholo, back to the angle. Ho'omalie. And 1, 2, 3. Kaholo, lalo, luna, luna, lalo. Good. Your vamp is going to be a side-to-side kaholo, ilalo, iluna, down and up and down and up. Arm is to the side, side and front, side and front. And you're thinking, side and front, but you did something with your hand. I did. My hand flipped over, okay, it poi, circle. I sweep my arm to the front and I do a small lift here. Very small, you don't want to do it too big so it blocks your face. To the left side, roll it and lift. We do roll and lift and roll. This is the vamp. We go right and up and left and up. Okay, this is the vamp throughout the mele. Okay, you'll get ma'a to it as we go along. Okay, so now we are adding the hands for the first verse. Now that we have the vamp in us. Okay, henani. Arms are to the side. Left is further than the right. You're gonna sweep and look out to the beauty of this place. Don't finish the motion. Normally we'd finish the motion here at the angle, but just as you're about to finish, you're gonna go to your right eye. And both hands are gonna frame your eye and the palms are into your body, okay? So you don't want it curved or facing out. You want it right up against a flat surface, okay? From here, you're gonna roll your hands again and push the left hand out and the right is gonna stay at your eye, okay? Now, when I mean push, I mean actually push against something, all right? That way it has some kind of movement to it. You're pushing there. Good. So you're doing hina, niva, le, iku, u, ike. Let's try that with the feet, okay? Here we go. Hina, niva, le, iku, u, ike. All right, how beautiful is this place? My eyes are in shock. It's so beautiful. It's taking my breath away. My eyes have not seen anything so beautiful. That's kind of the thought process of hina ni vale. Okay? From here, you're just doing a land motion, touching from the middle of the aina, and you're gonna open your aina here. Okay? Now I like my aina kind of body size. Okay? So I'm a little bit bigger, mine is gonna be bigger. If you're tiny, you just follow your body size, okay? So he aina make kahakai, the beach, you're gonna roll and dip your fingers 2 times. Good. So this is where the hela is. 2 and 3 and 4. Got that? Okay? So if you're at your eyes here, okay, you're gonna hela. Ka aina make kahakai e. Okay, and if you saw my upper body and my face, I'm going toward where my hands are dipping. Okay, that way you're inclusive of the motion. You see it and you feel it. If you're away from it, it's as if you don't want to get wet. Okay, you want to get wet. Okay, it's that inviting kind of place. Okay, let's try that. Feet and hands from Nanivale. Okay, ready? And here we go. Hena. Nivale iku u ike ka aina ma ke kahakai e. Okay, moving on. You're gonna stay with your aina motion. The same thing we did with the hela, you're now gonna do with kaholo. So we turned our body to the angle, open your land, okay? Same motion, I just happen to be turned, okay, to that 45. From here, my arms are gonna go to the back right angle. Right arm is further, okay? The left is across the chest. You don't wanna keep it to your chest. You actually wanna twist your upper body and take it to the back angle. And you're gonna do kawa kahiko, yeah? Kahiko, traditional times. It's gonna come over your head and place to the angle. So now my right is at my chest, my left is out to the angle, okay? So we're doing that with the ho'omalie. 1, 2, 3. All right, let's try that with the feet and the hands, okay? Just that part. And we're gonna go ka'aina ma ke kahakai ikawa kahiko and uwehe. Good, just like that, okay? So it comes out of the aina, kahakai, aina again, aina, and kawa kahiko. All right, and you give that uwehe, okay? That uwehe is kind of connecting what the words are saying, kahiko. So you want to see a kind of a kahiko basic movement in that word, okay? So hinani, let's try from the top. Hinani vale iku u hela. Ka aina ma ke kahakai. You're gonna keep that aina, turn, and ka aina o kawa kahiko. Okay, of our kupuna. You're gonna kaholo on this part, yeah? Piko, mouth, open the hands above your head, slowly bring it down to the V. Okay, kupuna, our ancestors, yeah? The land of our ancestors. So, piko, mouth, open, like kind of like arches, yeah? Arches and opening up to the V. With feet, it goes 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's try that again, one more time, from that pico, and ilalo. Ilalo and iluna, slowly bring it down, and. Okay, and that's the whole first verse. So let's try it one more time without music. And then we're gonna bring in the music because hula is always better with music. Okay, here we go. Henani, and. Henani vale iku ike kaaina ma ke kahakai. Here we go with kaaina, turning, and. Kaaina o ka va ka hiko, and. O na kupuna e. That's it, okay? So all of that, feet, hands, the feeling of it, let's try and put it together with the music. Here we go. Okay, feeling the joyfulness of going to the beach, going to a place that's gonna relax you and cleanse you and rejuvenate you, yeah? All those great things, okay? Feel it. Here we go. And I mean, Aina to the 45. Ho'omali'e. And I mean, Aina. Good uwehe. Pop that uwehe. My God. And that's your first verse, okay? Don't move on unless you're ready to move on. If you're not ready, just keep practicing. Practice always makes semi-perfect. And now we're ready for the hui. Now, hui is the chorus of a song. And sometimes English writing and Hawaiian writing is very different in their use of hui. In this particular mele, the hui is being repeated again and again because it's trying to emphasize the feeling of this place. It's trying to sort of feed you what this place did for the composer, how it made them feel, and how it just the memory of being there lingered with them for years after. Okay, so I want you to think about that as you're learning the hui. Okay, and in the hui, it wants you to also be malie and ho'onanea. Those are two words that describe a sense of calm. And as Kuana and I shared, Ke'e is that place. It's not a very rough beach with big waves like Waimea on Oahu. It's a very calm, and the waves on the shore are more ripple-like and not surf-like, even though we mentioned that earlier. The surf is far out. We're talking about the beach just bringing peace to this person. All right? So with that said, we're gonna start the feet for the hui. All right? Now, immediately after you do this kupuna motion, yeah, which we ended at the V, okay, you're gonna start your kaholo. And your kaholo is gonna take your body all the way to the right side. And you're gonna stay at a iluna position or a up position and kaholo to the right. So you're gonna go right, 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 okay? From here, you're gonna pivot on that right foot, step with your left, and kaholo left, 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 and. Okay? And the reason why I decided to make that this part of the motion move is because that's what ocean waves do. So you're gonna move, you don't have to move a lot. Again, we're gonna stay nice and malie or calm, okay? So we're going right again. 1. Kanalu'i kama lie. Malie. Good. From here, my body's gonna turn to the left angle. My feet are now gonna go to the right forward angle. I'm gonna kaholo down and up. Now, all I'm gonna do is head to that angle. I'm gonna turn my body to the right and dance to my left front angle. 1, 2, 3, and. And if you look on the floor as you're doing the feet work, it's doing some of like a greater than, less than sign, or like a V, okay? Just so you know what your feet are should look like, okay? So I head to the right, 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 left, 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 and. Okay? Let's take that from the first line. That way we can really kind of weave it together and make sure it's smooth, okay? Kainalu, here we go. And 1. Kainalu ikamalie, malie, to the 45. E ho onanea, 2, 3, and. From here, small lele ihope. Lele is just a walking ka'o, okay? So smooth hips, and I'm gonna step back just a little bit. 1 and 2. Now the reason for me stepping back is not for the reason of making the motion move back. It's so I can look out into the motion, and you will see that later, okay? So I do that nice little lele, small lele back, okay? And then I'm gonna kaholo to my right front angle again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and kaholo to the left, iluna and ilalo. Okay, so kind of a lot of moving on the feet. I know you're probably thinking, I don't know if I'm gonna remember this. You're gonna get it, I promise you, because once the motions are added to it, there's the motions really guide those steps, okay? So don't be nervous, okay? I'm gonna do that with you one more time, okay? So we step back lele, lele, and lele, out to the 45, kaholo down and up, kaholo up and down to the left, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's put that all together. All right, here we go. From the kaholo side to side, or kaholo ao, we huli 1, kainalu ikama lie, malie to the 45. E ho onanea e, we lele back, ke e to the front 45. Aloha o ke e, and together. And that's the feet for the hui. Okay? So take a deep breath, because I know some of you might be feeling overwhelmed. I don't want you to be, okay? This is where you're supposed to feel malie or calm, okay? And we're gonna start the motions. So here we go. We're V at the end of the first verse. You're gonna meet your arms somewhat together, making sure there's space, shoulder space between the two. You don't want them too close. You're here, you're gonna turn the palms over. The right hand is gonna pull down, the left is gonna pull up. And you're gonna make that wave, okay? Nice and small. If you can see, I'm not going too low below my chest. I'm not going too high above my shoulders. You're only gonna do that 2 times. So on the first one, my right hand's gonna pull down, left is up, and then opposite, 2. And that's it, okay? And as you can see, it's not much space between the two. You don't want it to be too big, okay? Because again, we're malie. We're not swimming in rigorous waters, okay? So nice and smooth, nice and calm. Ready? Huli, we go 1 and 2. Okay, from here, when I turn, my left arm is gonna go to my chest. My right is all the way to the side. It's a very traditional hula motion. So this is what it looks like if my body's facing the side and I lift my hands and place. Okay, so from the side, you look like this. Lift and place, okay? It's actually not much. It just looks like it's a lot because you do that turn, right? It's actually not that complicated, okay? So we try that again. We go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, we're gonna add the feet on that one, just so that we can get used to what we're doing. Okay, here we go. We go 1, kainalu ikamalie, malie. Good. So as you can see, my shoulder is totally to the front. Everything is facing the left side. Okay, we're gonna ho'onanea. Ho'onanea is also a real calming word. To sit and relax is what it means. Okay, my arms are at a V, with the palms facing out. And I'm only gonna look right over my shoulder, and I'm gonna do a 1 lift, and I'm gonna look out 2. So your eyes are very important for this motion, okay? Because you don't want your eyes to stay down the whole time, you want it to be up. So you can show that you're in a calming and relaxed state. From here, my hands are gonna na-nail. Right is at my under chest, left elbow is touching my right hand, and I'm resting my left hand right under the right side of my chin. Okay, the very traditional na-nea motion. Some do it with a little pointer finger, and some flat. It's just gonna have a little point to it, okay? And this is what it looks like because I'm turned to the right angle. So again, my arm is not gonna move. I'm just gonna move my body. And that's important because some people will go this way. Don't shift your arms, just shift your entire body. Okay, so it looks like this. Okay, again, ho'onanea, now relax and be calm. So with kaholo, I go down and out, I look out, and nanea, 2, 3, and. Okay, we're gonna put that all together. We're not done with the hui just yet, but we wanna make sure that we keep remembering everything. So we gotta refresh from the hui, okay, the top of the hui. Ready? And we turn 1. Kaina lui kamalie, malie, e ho'onanea e. 2, 3, and. Okay, from here, K-A, this is where your lele ihope comes into play. Arms are traditionally out for a traditional hula motion. We're gonna lift 1 and 2. Okay, just 2 lifts. Lele ihope, ihope. Okay, from here, aloha o K-A, my love for K-A. My palms are at my heart. I roll right, roll left, and out. Okay, so that right arm has to reach out into its place pretty suddenly and a little strong too. So it's going 1, 2, 3. Good, make sure it's set there on that 3. From here, right arm comes all the way up. I call this kino level or the body level. It's facing here. Left arm is gonna go to the right side of my body and dip and dip, okay? We have our arms like this because, of course, it's oceanside, but this is also synonymous to a surfing motion. Okay, so we're here and here. And as you can see, I'm moving my upper torso, yeah, or my upper body to make it move. Okay, so that way it's not doing too much. Okay, so nice and controlled. Aloha o ke we kaholo. 1. Aloha o ke and dip. Okay, so let's try that from that lele ihope. Okay, lele ihope, ke aloha. 1, aloha o ke and dip, and we vamp. And vamp, and vamp, and vamp. Okay, let's put that all together before we start our music with it. Okay, we don't want to go too quickly, otherwise we're not going to receive it well, and it's not going to be pa'a or firm in our minds or our bodies. So let's make sure we have it. Okay, so end the first verse. We end kupuna here, and now we're going to huli into the hui. And 1, kaina lui kamalie, malie, e ho'onanea e, lele ihope, ke I aloha, aloha o ke and we vamp. And 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Okay? Now again, if you have to do it without the music, maybe 1 or 2 more times, this is the time to do it. Okay? Don't feel like you have to rush and move ahead. But for all of you that are ready, let's try it with the music. Here we go. All right. Again, if you need more time, this is where you can do it again and again, just so that you have it. You know what I'm saying? And for hui, it repeats again later in the song 2 more times. So you want to make sure it's pa'a. This is the time that you can practice it over and over again. Otherwise, I'll meet you in the second verse. Okay, the second verse, the kahea is Ike ia I kanani, and it talks about kiala ke kua inside of this verse, as well as the cliff sides that stand majestically above, or kila kila, proud. Okay, so we're gonna head to that verse, and we're gonna ask for calm again. okay? Because this is when we get a little bit nervous as we add more verses to the mele. But I don't want you to be nervous. Malie is the word for this mele, remember? Okay, so ike ikanani. The feet are going to do what it did in the first verse because you're overwhelmed by the beauty of this place, okay? So I'm attracted to this area. So I'm going to pull to the right angle again, but I'm going to start at a iluna kaholo this time. So I'm doing iluna and ilalo, and now I'm going to do ilalo, iluna on the left side. And that's a down and up on the left side, okay? Let's try that again. So iluna, ilalo, headed to the 45, headed to KA. Ready? And ike, ia, ikanani, e, okay. Okay, from here we're going to keala ke kua be. Now we did this feet movement, a kaholo au au, or just a kaholo from side to side in the hui. But this one is going to be much more different because we're going to turn a different way. All right, so this one, I'm going to kaholo with my body facing the side, the right side. My feet are going to travel to the back. So I'm going to go right, left together. My body is going to turn forward this time. I finish the step here on the left side. Okay? So the way to remember that is you start on the right side, end on the left side on a right side kaholo. Okay? Try that with me. Ready? And we kaholo, au. Finish, mai ka'i. Now left side. Now the left side is going to start on the left side, end to the front. Okay? So we go to the back. Left, together, turn front, together. Okay? Now that's the only difficult thing I see for you in this second verse is that it's right to left, left to front. Okay? But once you get that, add that motion in, I promise you, it'll be nice and fluid. Okay? Here we go. We go right to the left side and left to the front together. All right, let's try those two lines together and see if we can fill our basket with all of this. Our memory is becoming full now, right? So let's see if we can add it to our basket and remember it, make it pa'a. Ready? And ike. Ike, ia, ikanani, e, kaholo au au. Keala, kea, kua, be, to the front, together. Okay, how did you do? I'm sure you did well, okay? Be easy on yourself too, okay? I promise you again, when the motions are added, things just always complete itself. So don't be too nervous, okay? We're gonna add it on to that. He aina ona pali. Aina came in the first verse. We're talking about the aina throughout this mele, but the word aina in the composition was in the first verse. And so we're gonna go back to the same motion, same feet movement, and we did a hela on that part. So we're doing he aina ona pali. We're gonna stay at a hela again, but this fourth hela is gonna come at a ku. So I'm gonna point my left toe, okay? In my style of hula, when I do a hela at a iluna position, my foot comes forward and it's on its toe, okay? So let's try those 4 hela together. So we do a 1, a 2, a 3, and a ku, just like that, okay? Now, on that part, you wanna stay nice and fluid on the feet, nice and light, don't push into the ground, all right? We're gonna add that to our verse, okay? Ike ia, headed to that 45, and here we go. Ike ia ikanani e kaholo au au. Keala kea kua be. Here we go with the hela. And 1. Ka'aina o na paliku. Good. From there, the left foot is going to come in. We're going to do that ihope lele once more. Now, on that lele, we didn't really move much ihope. This one you are. Okay, this one, big body size steps, and then 2 ka'o, 1 and 2, okay? And as I said, lele is a walking ka'o. So it shouldn't be too much trouble. Just make sure those shoulders are not overworking, yeah? Nice and still, in control of your body. We go lele. Lele and ka'o, ka'o. Okay, that's the feet for that entire verse. Let's put it all together. Okay, just so that we can get our memory up to par, make sure everything is pa'a. Here we go. Ready? And we go. Ike ikana ni e. Kaholo au au. Ke ala ke akua be. Hela. And 1, 2. Here we go with the ku. In. Lele, ihope, and ka o. Okay? You saw how quick that ku foot came in? That's what you need to make sure happens so that you stay on tempo. All right? Okay, take a deep breath in because we're going to start the motions. And blow it out. Okay, now we're ready. So hands are to the left side of your left eye. We did this earlier to the right side of the eye. Palms are flat surface against your face. I'm going to turn my hand again just like I did earlier. 1 and 2. Okay, I see the beauty. And I'm going to twist my upper body. Right arm comes to the back angle. Left is at the front right angle. I'm going to lift my hands and sweep it to the front. Okay? Let's try that again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, let's put that with feet. Okay, here we go. Iluna ilalo kaholo in case you forgot. And we go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Just like that. From here, we're going to do the be. Kiala kikua be. You're going to touch the front pocket of your pants as if you're wearing pants. Touch the pocket of your pants, the elbows to the side of you. You're going to do a nice round here. Before the right even finishes, the left one has to start and touch. Okay? Now, a question I get asked a lot is, are you touching on both sides? Yes, I do. Okay? So I touch, and around, and touch, and around. And that's happening on that kaholo ao ao. Okay? So as we're doing that side-to-side kaholo, please make sure that that be stays in front of you. You don't want it to move around too much. You want to be in control of your body. Okay? Because here we go with the feet. Ready? And we go. Pocket and around, and pocket and around together. One more time. You're like, what just happened? Let's try that again. Okay, here we go. Ready? And we go. Pocket and around, and pocket and around together. Okay? Do I want it to touch? I like when it touches. Okay? Just because I know the motion was completed. Otherwise, it's going to end up all over the place. Okay? So I like a nice touch right here with the middle fingers touching. All right? Let's put that together now. Okay? Seeing the beauty of this area. Ready? And we go. Ike ikana ni e. Kaholo au au. O ke ala ke akua be. And we finish. Okay? From here. This is where the helas happen. And we did this motion already with these feet. So ka'aina. 1. Ka'aina o na. Na pali. Now this is the first time we're doing this motion. Pali, very traditional pali. Right here with the right hand facing the left side. Left fingertips are touching the middle of the right arm. Right hand, excuse me. I keep it at my chest level so it's nice and low. Because on the second one, when we switch to the left side, I need this one to be higher. Okay? And it's describing the cliffs in that area. So it needs to have that height difference. Okay? So I do the aina first, and 2, and pali, and finish. Okay? So there's that nice climb. There has to be a difference again. Okay? Let's try it from the hela. And we go ka'aina, pali, 1, and ku. That's where that ku is. Okay? All right. Making sure you're taking deep breaths. Don't get overwhelmed, okay? Here we go. We're going to try it from the top. We have one more line to go. Don't give up. Here we go. And we go. Ike ikana ni e. And huli. And ke ala ke akua be. And aina. And 1. Give me that pali. And we go up. And 2. Just like that. That foot comes in quickly. In. The right goes to the chest. The left is up. Nice and high at that pali. Okay? We're doing ku, kila, kila, and 1 and 2. Okay? Ku, kila, kila to stand tall. Also, it's talking about that majestic height that person, that place is above you. It's a priority. It's important to you. So you want it to be nice and high, high, and high. And now you show it in your body. 3 and 4. Okay, so that's with that lele and ka'o. And lele, nice and tall, proud. Ka'o and ka'o. Okay, you show it in how high your body is, yeah? So reach that head all the way to the top of your roof, okay? And show that in your body, all right? So that's all of that verse. We're gonna try it one more time, okay? From top of this second verse. All right, here we go. Filling our head with all the things we need to see. We need to see the be, we need to see that pali, and then we need to feel proud, okay? Here we go, ready? And ike. Ike ikanani e. Huli, o ke ala ke a kua be, the aina, and land, pali, make it climb, pa, li, e, ku, kila, and ka'o, and ka'o. All right, now, with a big breath, in and out, we're gonna try it with the music, all right? Let's do this. Ike. How do you do? Yeah? Got it? Again, if you didn't get it, pause it, try it again. There's no need to rush. Now, if you're ready, I'm ready for the third verse, okay? Now, make sure you think third because right now we're probably thinking fourth because that hui came in, but technically this is the third verse, all right? So this is the part in the mele where the composer speaks of the white sandy beaches and the beautiful ele, the black rocks, the ili, the ones that we Hula love, because we look for beaches like this to find the perfect ili to dance with. And so it speaks about that. And it speaks about the beautiful movement of the new trees, the coconut trees that are there as well. So there's the visions, there's all the things that you need to think about when you start to learn the feet and the hands, and everything will just kind of sit right in place for you, okay? So with that said, let's start with the feet. All right, now, you're going to start with the kaholo, but this kaholo is gonna move you ihope. So you're gonna go back. Now, I'm not gonna say this part is easy, and I wanna say that to you now because sometimes the balance kind of gets shaken up a little bit. Like, what are you doing to me? The first movement is back. So you have to make sure you're grounded in your pico, okay? So we're headed back, and we're not only headed back, but we're headed at a iluna and ilalo kaholo. Okay, so that might be a little troublesome at first. Okay, but we're gonna go slowly. Are you ready? Here we go. So we do ke one kea. Okay, so now if you saw my feet, it's continuously moving back. And I say that because it's not gonna go back together. The feet are gonna actually pass one another. Yeah? So that I move more. I'm sorry, I'm starting at the iluna, yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's how you get more movement, all right? Now, right after we do that, I'm gonna throw in another difficult thing because we're gonna actually have to head to the left side. So again, your balance might be really a little rocky at first, but the more practice you get in, you'll get this, okay? So we head straight to that left side and we're gonna kaholo down and up and. So we're gonna put that together because again, the balance thing, like I warned you, right? Here we go. We're going back, iluna, ilalo, and we kaholo to the left and. So the idea is to do that without making it look difficult, even though it is, okay? So that's the first part of it. And as you can see, I kind of end up on the left side, okay? So I'm here on that left side. From here, you're gonna go into a hela, okay? The 4 hela that we did in the first and the second verse, you're now gonna do in the third as well. So we do 1, 2, but instead of the 4, you're gonna do 2 only because you're gonna give me a ka'o and ka'o instead, okay? So we do a hela, and 1 and 2, okay? sometimes I try to keep the feet similar to the other verses intentfully because we're at the same place and describing somewhat of the same things. So that's why we do those 2 hella again, all right? So let's try that again. Getting that balance in check, headed back, ihope, and we go. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, hella, 2, hella, ka'o, and ka'o. All right, got it? All right, breathing, breathing, breathing all the time, even when you're getting nervous and overwhelmed. Okay, we're moving on to the next part. Are you gonna do this kaholo to the right, down and up? And this is the part that's gonna start the trees. Down and up here. Left side is gonna stay up because you wanna stay high up like the trees. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. We go ilalo and iluna, stay, iluna and iluna. Just like that, okay? So adding that all together, we got one more part, don't give up, okay? Here we go, keone. Getting that balance ready, pico in, ready, and ke, 1. One, ke, e, and hella, and 1. And 2, we ka o 1, 2, ka holo, and lalo. And luna, stay luna, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna go ihope again, okay? But this time we're gonna stay iluna. Now this is not that easy all the time either, okay? Pico in for that balance. We go ihope, ihope, ihope. Now drive imua. Imua, imua, imua. Good. And this one, I want you to move, not extremely, but I want you to move more than what we have been in the dance, okay? Really allow yourself to move on the beginning of this verse and the end of this verse. All right, let's try that again, ihope. And we go back, 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 drive it forward, imua together. Good, okay? That's the feet for the whole verse. So let's put it all together and make sure we have it pa'a. Ready? Here we go. Kahilua, headed back, and ke one ke e, we hela, and 1, and 2, we ka'o. 1, ilalo, iluna, kaholo. 1, 2, 3, we stay iluna. 1, 2, ihope, stay iluna, and imua. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. So this verse, we're really moving, if you can tell, okay? All right, so this is time for the hands. Now, as you can see, we move a lot in this verse, and the reason for that is I'm thinking of those ili that are rolling upon the shore, rolling back into the ocean. The waves are bringing it upon the shore, taking it back out, which is why there's so much movement back and forth, okay? So with that said, we're gonna add the hands and think of the sand. Now this is gonna be an S. Palms are down. You start at the right front corner. When I'm looking down, okay, this is gonna take practice on your end, is you wanna see an S, the actual letter S, okay? So I wanna look down and see an S, and when that S is about to end, I'm gonna sweep it around to the side, okay? So I guess it would be like a S and a squashed O or something like that, like an O that just got sat on or something like that, all right? So you wanna make sure you're drawing that in the sand. 1, 2, 3, and push out, lift and side, okay? Now this motion here is the left is at the right pocket, the same pocket we took the bay, right at the pocket, the right is at the side of me. All I'm doing is this, lift, transfer to the other side, okay? It only looks really challenging because I'm at that 45, but I'm not doing much actually, okay? So I'm going 1, 2, 3. See that? Okay? So let's try that S, squashed O, the rest of the sand, okay? Let's try that again, ready? And we go S, squashed O, lift and place, okay? With the feet now, okay? Again, the balance, because we're going ihope, good luck, okay? Squeeze that pico in, ready? And we go 1, 2, 3, 4, lift and place together. I know, you're probably like, what just happened? One more time. We can do it a couple more times, okay? And if it's too difficult, pause it, think about it, process it on your own, because some people don't pick it up so quickly, and that's okay. This is a hard part. Okay, S, we go. S, S squashed O, we turn, lift, and we put it down. Okay, from here, you're gonna make ili hands or rock hands, actual fists. You're gonna take it out to the right side. You're gonna poi or roll it, okay? Because the rocks are rolling upon the beach. Roll it and place, lift and lift. And why that lift is because all the rocks have those like ripples on the sand, right? So that's what you're doing, okay? So we're doing roll it and lift and lift. All right? With the hela and the 2 ka'o. Ready? And think the ili. 1 and 2. Now come up tall and pull it up. Pull it up. Now when I pull up, I'm also leaning slightly away from it. Okay? Because if I'm up straight, I get a little stiff if I do this. So I pull back a little bit from it. And it gives me time to see it too. I want to be able to see my motions and understand what I'm doing. Okay? So let's try that all together, the first 2 lines. Okay? Here we go. Breathing. Yes, this is the hard verse. Ready? And we go. S squashed O. We pick up the letters, put it down. We do rocks and the ripple. Ripple and ripple. Okay? Again, you don't have to move on from here. You can pause me right now so you can do it over and over again. All right? But I'm going to move on. Okay? So we're here. I'm going to do my holunape, my trees, the new trees. Both hands are on top of one another. Okay? The right is at the elbow of my left arm. I'm going to look at my right hand, follow my right hand up to a tree, and then I'm just going to switch it, and the left is now up. Okay? Now you more advanced students, hula students, are going to say, okay, but which one goes in front of the other one when it passes? I got you covered. The right is going to go away from you. Yeah? So away from you. And then the left comes up. Hello. Just like that. Okay? So I'm going 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Just like that. Okay? And you want to make it seamless like that. And the thought process of that when I choreographed it was that there's trees and trees and trees. All these new trees lined up. Okay? So you don't want to stop that motion at all. Okay, we're going to try it with kaholo. We go kaholo and iluna and pass and the next tree. Just like that. Okay, let's put all that together. All right, here we go. Ke one and ke one ke e. Now the rocks and 1 and 2 and lifting 1. Here come the new and new 2 and passing and just like that. Okay? Now in the song it mentions the niu not only because it's there, but because it's so hot. And if you've been to Kona, it can get pretty scorching hot, dry heat. You want to use the shade from the niu to get some kind of coolness, right? Otherwise you're going to be sweating that whole time you're trying to enjoy the day. So from here, vela. Vela is hot. Okay? Vela, touch your forehead. Vela, ika, I open up my hands. Vela, ika, la, e. I turn my hands out and I make a nice big round and hot sun. Okay? So I'm here. I'm hot. She is hot. And then up to the sun. Okay? Just think about those days where you're trying to think cute, but it's so hot, it's kind of impossible. So that's what we're trying to do, okay? We're going to go ihope, going back. You're hot, 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 because this blasting sun. Okay? But you're going to have a cute tan, so that's all that matters, right? Okay, let's try this verse in its entirety, not including the music just yet, okay? All right, here we go. Ready? And we go. Ke one ke e. And rocks and pohaku. 2 and lift, lift. Where's the niu? Because I'm getting hot and I need to cool down. 1, 2, 3, because she's hot from this sun. 1, 2, 3, and. Okay, how'd you do? Again, please don't ever feel like you have to move on just because I'm moving on. That's what the pause button is for. So pause it and try it again. But for those of you that are ready, let's try it with the music, okay? Here we go. Good one. There's those trees, I'm hot. Guess what? We're going back into the movie. Yay. Aloha. How is that? Is your body hot? Mine is. Okay, so again, this is the part where you can rewind it and try it again, or you're gonna move on with me to the last verse. So we've now come to the end of our story, or the end of Kehao's story, in the 4th verse, okay? Again, thinking 4th, not including the hui, right? So in this verse, I like to choreograph my ha'ina always way more simpler than the other verses, because in my thinking of doing choreography, it's return to what the origin of the story is without all that fluff, okay? So that's what we're gonna do in this verse, all right? Keep it really simple. And we're gonna start with tu ka'o, okay? Tu ka'o is gonna be eo, eo ke'e. And we did ke'e earlier with that small lele ihope, lift and lift, okay? So I'm actually gonna introduce the hand motions for eo already, just so that it's a little bit more complete. Okay, so eo. Eo is long live or answer to me this place. And answer to me meaning, may we always speak of this place so that I can remember or so that other people can know of this place. So both hands are to the mouth here, 1 and 2. So I do a nice kind of C or a half of a triangle at the left side of my face, and the right is out to the right angle. Now, if this motion looks kind of familiar to you, it should, because the Ike motions are very similar. It's just coming from your mouth, okay? So the lines are all the same, and the structure of your hand is the same as well. So we're doing 1 and 2, and now you pull back for KA, 1 and 2, okay? So you ka'o, ka'o, and lele ihope, lele ihope, okay? From here, it's gonna take us back to the first verse where it said, ka'aina make kaha kai'e. You're gonna do the exact same thing we did earlier. Hela, hela, and 3 and 4, okay? That's always a beautiful thing about the last verse. It kind of, again, brings things back home. So everything that's described in usually the first few verses come back into the last verse, all right? So let's try that again. Eo, ready? And we go, eo, e, ke e, ka'aina. And ka'aina ma ke kaha kai e, e. Okay, from here, we're just gonna do a kaholo ilalo iluna on the right, kaholo ilalo iluna on the left, and we're gonna keep our hands standard from the mouth with the right on top and the left underneath. Up against a flat surface, we're going mouth and out to that part of ke'e, opposite, left side, out to that part of ke'e. Okay, so it's just coming, left is now on top, right is under, and I reach out. Okay, so we do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, making sure it's inclusive of the entire place. All right, let's try that one more time from the top of eo. Ready? And we do 1. Eo, ke, e, ka'aina, ka'aina ma ke kaha kai, e, ha'ina. And right over, ha'ina ku'umele, kaha kai hemolele e. We're gonna go back into kaha kai. Kaha kai hemolele. Now from here, we're gonna do a lele to the front at a ilalo and a iluna together, okay? So we didn't do that a lele forward just yet in the dance at all. This is where it's gonna happen. We did ihope, but not imua. And this one we're going down and up, okay? So nice smooth hits because it's a walking ka'o, and we do 1, 2, 3 together, okay? Make sure there's no like swishiness in the shoulders at all as well. Nice focus on the core area, okay? Now hemolele. Hemolele means perfect, but I try not to use that word too much because nothing is really perfect. But a word that's often used to describe hemolele is flawless or magnificent. I always think of something being just beyond what my expectations for a place were or a person was, okay? So I'm gonna dip, 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 and I'm gonna do a V in front of me because I wanna include everything down here, the kahakai and the oni and all of that, and the kumu of the niu trees, and then I'm just gonna take this all in and lift up and together because I wanna include the beauty of the entire place from root or the aina to lani, to the heavens, okay? So make sure that you're nice and in control of your body and lift that up, okay? And that's the end of that verse. So let's try that one more time, putting it all together. Again, really simple, and just kind of closing out that story, all right? But never to forget, all right? Eo, ready? And we do 1. Eo, ke, e, ka'aina, and ka'aina ma ke kahakai, e, ha'ina, and 1. Ha'ina, ku'u, kahakai again. Kahakai, hemolele, dip, and up, and. How is that? Okay? Again, if you have to review it, pause it, do it again and again and again, or even put it aside, you can do so. But we're gonna move on with the music now, just to kind of make things complete, okay? Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna stop you because the ending is fancy and I don't wanna overwhelm you. So if you feel like you need to do it again, try it again, okay? Otherwise, meet me for the very ending. It's gonna be a little fancy. So we're at that fancy ending, okay? And I wanna give it its own time just so that you catch on to it because sometimes the music can really confuse people. So we're gonna take our time on this and I'm gonna be really detailed about what's coming up, okay? So because we went back to the hui, it's going to tag, I know, very Hawaiian word, or repeat, hanaho, the very last line of the hui, all right? So what that means is we're going to do ke e, aloha, aloha o ke e, hanaho, ke e, 1, aloha oke. Now, you're not gonna do the second part of the A, the K-A. You're not gonna do that part. You're gonna stop at the aloha and actually stop here. So your feet wanna complete here because what you're gonna do is you're gonna vamp 4 times. 4 times or 2 sets, however you think. 4 times for me is right, left, right, left. 2 sets is right, left, right, left. So whatever you think that'll help you, okay? So I'm gonna count 4. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. I'm gonna go back to aloha, okay? Because Kehau must have really loved this place to repeat this part, okay? So 1, aloha o. I'm not gonna do my dip on the right side. Instead, I'm gonna step on my left foot, all my weight on the left foot, only do this dip here, and then it got too hot, so she's gonna dash. She's gonna leave, okay? Because she loved the place, but remember we said in the 4th verse, it's Vela. So it's time to go. Our time has passed. So aloha, we're doing aloha 2 and 3 and see ya, ahui ho. Just like that, okay? So let's repeat that all one more time, excuse me, and then we'll try with the music, okay? Because again, especially on the endings, music helps all the time, okay? So, ke'e and 1. Ke'e, aloha, aloha completed, and e. Ke'e again. This is the tag, the non-completed one. And 1, 2, 3, and 1 vap, and 2 vaps, and 3 vaps, and 4 aloha again, and aloha, and out, and dip, and go home. Okay? Now, let's try it with the music and see what happens, all right? Here we go. Don't give up now. There's the tag. I know. I can already see your faces. Wait, what? And some of you probably didn't even leave with me. That's okay. Again, as always, pause it, try it again and again and again. You gotta make that ending exciting because that's how they're gonna remember you, okay? All right, how's about you and I head to KA, okay? Now that we know everything about this place through Kehao's composition, now we can really dance it, and as the important thing for me is receiving it, okay? So big smiles, think happy. This place is gonna rejuvenate us. We see the beautiful shoreline. We see the white sandy beach and the ili ili. We see the surfers out, that excites us, of course. The tall and shady niu and the cliffs, the pali above, okay? Just see all those things. If you can see all those things in your mele, then you know you did it justice, all right? Here we go. Take a deep breath in. All right, here we go. How was that day at KA? Okay, I'm kind of out of breath. How about you? If we're out of breath, that means we worked hard, or that just means we're out of shape. But whatever the case may be, I hope you enjoyed KA. Make sure to always listen to the music. The music really helps. It helps you put those visions and emotions it helps it come alive. So it's really important to always study your music. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I hope to see you again at another workshop. Aloha.